Heat Okinawa. We are live. We are here.
We are.
Indeed. I'm your boy. It's your boy TJ, a.k.a. Sly.
Wednesday Writer.
Welcome back.
Hey, she
Super
back.
excited
She
to
back.
be back.
Hey, it's your boy Kid in the Hood, but I'm just in the hat tonight.
You
But you know,
you're rocking the snapback. I ain't got mine on right now.
Rocking the
but,
snapback, you feel me?
Yeah.
What's up, y'all? This Vez.
Leo Leon.
Hey, we got a special guest.
And DJ Cassie.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Yo, we got a whole set out here
My
tonight.
motherfucking fellow gringo back in the house with me tonight.
Yeah, we back in it, yo. We
Hey,
back
I
in
know
it.
a lot of y'all can't probably see what we're wearing right now, but the guys is here right now.
Yeah.
We
all matching.
We in full effect for someone's birthday.
Yeah.
It's
Hey,
his birthday today, so shout
Kid in the
out.
Hood. Shout out,
Probably the
man.
worst day to have it on St. Patty's Day weekend.
Hey, man, I've been
That's
living.
right.
I've been living this birthday
I'm like,
all
three
my
times
life.
behind.
We gonna what we say we're gonna do is make sure he get a beer in him tonight by the end of the night because we know he don't do beer.
Yeah,
At least
that's the thing. So they said they're gonna make sure I chug a beer, but if you know me, I do not drink beer at all. I drink all alcohol, but just not beer.
Yeah,
So if I chug a beer,
whole bunch of monkey
I'm
wrenches
gone.
in your vicinity coming your way.
oh man,
Anybody that knows me well enough, if you have celebrated a birthday with me, or I have
Don't
done
survive.
a birthday for you, it's very critical. That's all I'm gonna say.
Hey, speaking of birthdays, today's also Kenny's birthday.
Oh yeah, no, it's
No,
not today.
it was
His-
yesterday.
His was a couple days ago. Kenny, I
Kenny.
know where you at tonight.
Happy birthday. 'Cause
I
you
know
said
where you're at
If
tonight.
you're friends with me, you will shout me out and say happy birthday. So
Kenny.
Kenny.
Kenny. Hey,
Happy birthday.
shout out to anybody
Kiki,
tonight that's
happy
got a
birthday,
birthday.
Kiki.
Yo, shout out to all my fellow Pisces. I love y'all.
Kiki's birthday's today too.
Kiki's birthday was last night.
Oh man.
Yo.
3-0. Wait, 3-0.
Hey, I'll party for
Wait. Kiki bar anonymous Kiki.
Yes, Kiki.
It's 3-0.
Fabulous. I think
Oh, I
so.
thought it was
Boy, he
straight
better
to
work
Kiki.
it.
I don't know.
Hey, we are. Hey,
Looking good.
all the March babies, we are turning up this weekend.
Oh, dear.
I'm-
Yes.
Honestly,
Everybody
hey, St. Patrick's Day.
It's a risky kind of weekend.
Hey, good thing.
Thank
Hey,
God
look.
I am
Hey, look. Good thing I don't have to go to work on Monday.
You ain't
It's
gonna
a
be
risky
allowed
kind of
to-
weekend.
You ain't gonna be
You know
allowed
what
to
I'm
go to work
saying?
any day.
Hey, look. All I gotta do is make it to my tattoo appointment. Yo, that gets me
Go.
every time.
Every time,
Every
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 time.
time.
Hey, shout out to Paul. I see you watching. Shout out to Get 'em Kicks. If you are watching, we know y'all watched this
Yeah.
last time. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that's out there, if you got any other subjects for us to talk about tonight, besides what we're about to dive into, let us know. But like I said, risky night, right?
Yeah, risky.
So let's get right into it.
Yeah. All right, so
Since
what
it's
we
a
doing then?
risky-ass night.
Yeah, what we
I
getting into?
know. Shout out to King Takashi. He put up the idea of risky quickies. Do you risk it?
Risky quickies.
Hey, look.
Yeah.
Anybody that doesn't know what a risky quickie is, I mean, it's pretty much public sex with the possible definite intentions of getting caught. Do you risk it?
Hey, look.
Risky.
Hey, there's.
There's the door.
Hey, there it is. Nah, but hey, so from. Hey, but for me, like, yo, whoa.
Hold up. No.
Hey,
You heard that.
I heard the mumble ground.
Go ahead. Hey, man.
I heard the mumble ground.
Nah, but risky quickies. Hey, look. Most time it's. Ooh.
Don't worry,
It's an adventure.
Yet.
Like it's very fun. Like
Disclosures. Disclaimers right now. Put them out there.
yeah, all my disclaimers. I'm not a
Yes,
hoe.
the answer is.
I'm loyal. I'm loyal as fuck. But
Wait,
no.
you can have
Everybody
risky
on my live, y'all see my face
risky
right
quickies
now, right?
in your
After-
relationship.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, not your relationship.
I think that helps. I think that helps to keep the
Yeah,
relationship spicy.
it keeps us smart.
Yes,
Like
I
If
think
you're
so.
if you're about that life, you know what I'm saying?
hey,
gotta be about
you
that.
hit her up like, babe, what are you doing right now? I'm just going out getting some groceries. Where?
What's
We need to
okay?
get
So around the table,
Not
I'll
necessarily
start.
around the table.
I'll start.
We're gonna
I'll
skip two
start.
people.
I'll start.
The triangle.
We gotta put the story out there. Okay, so I'm gonna say my first risky quickie.
Oh, that's a tongue twister.
Risky quickie.
Granted, it wasn't necessarily a quickie.
Oh.
It was in the
Okay.
disclaimer before I was married.
Yes, please.
Disclaimer
Oh,
before I was married.
Um,
Mine was in a mall elevator.
Hell yeah.
Oh, you did share that.
I heard this story
Yes.
Yeah.
like 1,000 times.
Yeah, that's probably my
Is it
favorite.
not?
Whoa. Huh?
No, oh, never mind.
You were gonna ask a question?
No, I wasn't.
Oh,
Hell, he's going.
mall elevators, see-through elevators
mall?
go
Got
up.
my eyes on you.
It was in the Galleria in Houston.
Hey, my risky quickie. Hey, the cops actually came. They was like, "What you?"
So you got caught.
Hey, hold on.
Oh, he got
No,
caught.
but look. Shout out to my state police.
Amateur.
Hey, look, listen. No, hold up, listen.
So
He
you,
called.
Hey.
He's the one to go.
so you,
No, but hold up.
you
wait,
about
wait.
the true blue? Huh?
Wait. No, look. So my dude pulled up on us. He's like, "Hey, what y'all doing?" Hey, nothing. He like, "All right, stop playing with me. If y'all gonna stay here, just go further in the back." I'm like, "Shit, bet." He let me stay. I'm like, "Hey, might as well go round 2, 3." Hey.
Okay.
Dale.
She not answering.
Dale.
Not tonight. Hey,
Well,
you will not get hurt tonight, Satan.
I'm a child of God. I don't have sex unless.
Oh,
Oh,
And
them
angels
lies.
cry and fall from
blaspheming
the
demons.
heavens.
I made a mistake last night.
Yeah.
Oh.
Couple.
Oh.
Was it risky? That wasn't no risky.
Anyway.
I was trying to be risky.
we saw the.
I was trying to be risky last night.
Okay. Anyways.
You were trying to what? You were trying to do what?
I was trying to see how far she was gonna go. I wasn't gonna do nothing because I'm loyal.
Oh, loyal.
I'm faithful as
I
fuck.
was at a fight.
I'm faithful as fuck.
Because I got a beef with that. This man said, I was just trying to see how far she would go, but I'm loyal.
I'm just saying.
I'm loyal.
To what?
Is there such a thing?
I'm just
Yes.
saying, bro. We weren't even sure
Explain.
it was a she.
You wasn't sure. I knew for a fact.
Granted, that was banana
Oh
fish,
my
and
Lord.
that is where they be hanging at.
Oh my lord.
That is
Look,
where they be
I
hanging
knew
at.
for a fact.
Oh, you checked, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, but you're loyal.
Whoa.
But he's
All right, but look. All right.
Check
Hey, but look.
Hey,
Hey, you gotta have my eyes,
the heat is thick in here already.
Hey,
All right, so I'll share.
yeah. Oh, okay. Please share.
We waiting. Go ahead for it.
I was 23. Let's just put it out there.
That was the disclaimer right
3 years
there.
ago.
Oh,
Disclaimer.
you're sweet. I love you. I-95 South.
Oh, she remembered the exact highway.
I know that highway. I know that
Hey, don't go on that highway.
I-95 South. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay.
I mean, I had one on the 45 South. Shit, Dallas is an amazing area. at 3 a.m. in the morning.
Hey. Shout out to all the national
Hey,
parks.
I'm just saying, that just shows your skill level. If you're able to get a risky quickie in
This is like.
daytime, nighttime, whenever,
Yeah.
especially
why,
daytime.
So why do we want like risky quickies in a
For,
relationship?
honestly, personally, like I said earlier, it keeps the spice alive.
It really
I was
does.
dumb
It's
as hell when I did mine.
it's whatever. It's that excitement of possibly getting caught. Like, I mean, that's something you can just be like when you're.
adrenaline rush and you're
That's
like,
that's that when you're like 70, 80, and you should be like, babe, remember that one time?
Yeah.
hey, what about now? Like I remember
Yeah, you
those
can do that now.
That's like super
But-
magic.
I'm just saying.
Hey, you
can
bring
sit
it up
back
and
just,
Chango
like,
do it
that's-
again.
To me,
Chango do it
doing
again.
stuff like that is the
bad.
perfect.
My
It's the
bad.
perfect definition of saying like you live your life to the fullest. You know what I'm saying?
For
You're not taking anything without any regret. You're just like, you know what, fuck it,
Mine,
go with it.
mine was so risky it could have ended my life.
Well, then what kind of risk are we talking about there, right? Because there's.
All right, yeah. You gotta know.
No.
Talking about
Oh,
medical.
oh,
You talking
Hey,
about
let the
medical?
story fly.
So
Let
here's
the
the
story
couch,
fly,
right? Here's the
DJ.
couch. Here's me and my
got
girlfriend
like
at
2-3
the time.
bills into
Later
the night.
became my wife. Now is no longer my wife. Anyway, here's the chair, right? Here's the chair right in front of it.
No regrets.
My mama sitting in the chair.
That's like a
I
whole
was
new level
17.
of risk.
And I say I could
Oh.
have ended my life because my mom was turning around. Boy, what the fuck is you doing?
Shout out to you, Eve. I see you out here.
Was she pretend sleeping? Your mom?
No, what's funny is at the end of it all. So like she leaves, my girlfriend goes back home, right? She lives right next door. I go into the kitchen, my mom's doing dishes. She just look at me. She go, "Did you have fun?"
Mad caught.
Yeah, no.
Mad caught.
Oh, like,
I know. I had one where you know we were exploring the idea of making the risky more quickie, so to speak, and it was at grandma's house in the basement.
Mama crucified me.
Hey, but no, hey, look, my mom called me. Well, my mom didn't catch me, but she called me. She was like my whole household like kind of knew.
How she? You said she didn't catch you, but
She called me.
Keep in mind, we just got off the phone with her before the show started, so
Yeah, for real.
we know
Yeah,
she said she got a hair appointment, so
Nah,
she probably low key listening.
Nah, so
She gonna be like, hell no, I caught your ass.
You heard that nervous?
no.
I'ma walk
So
outside
look,
and chunk
so
with
my whole
myself.
entire house, like they all kind of like had a question about it because they didn't really know. So they found a little corner of a condom wrapper in the backseat of the car.
Mama, that's
Wait,
ramen
hold
noodles. That's ramen noodle season.
They knew for a fact that what they do, smell it and it was like, oh, that's latex.
No. They.
He said they saw a little corner and knew
No,
it was a condom
it wasn't
package.
like a little corner, but you can tell like, oh,
I can tell by these highlighted lines. This is Trojan, whatever brand.
it was Magnum. But no, but yeah. So my mom, like, everybody came down at the end of the day. It was like, "Are you having sex?" I'm like, "What?" Hey, look, my mom said, "Hey, stop playing. I already found the condom wrapper in the backseat of my car."
Mama, that was ramen noodle.
Isn't that amazing how moms can catch you though? Like,
I'm like, "Whoa."
I mean, like, really, you cannot
They
really.
know.
It's really hard to lie to your mom.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
So
I know.
So for
I
me,
tell her everything.
for me, it was like,
Good
you know,
answer.
when I was still a virgin and my mom asked me, it was like, you know, yeah, I'm not, I ain't doing nothing. But it was one day she was cutting my hair and she was just like, so how many girls you slept with? Oh, like 4. Oh shit, damn. Damn, how you do that? Oh man. She's like, oh okay, you wrapping it up? I'm like, yeah. I ain't crazy as shit. I ain't about to kill me.
Send us your quickie stories, guys.
Seriously.
Chime in, send us your messages, send us your quickie stories. Let's
Hey, happy belated
no
to
pictures.
happy
Yes,
belated
just
to
stories,
Flo.
No pictures.
Happy belated to Flo.
Yo,
I see
happy
her on here
birthday.
right now. I don't know if you're working tonight over at
What
what
up,
you call
Flo?
it at
Players.
Yeah, she'll probably be there tonight. Come through, hang with us, with you know, see what happens to Kid in the Hood.
Hey. Hey, look.
She's accepted.
Oh, that laugh. is
Yeah,
so
I
evil.
have. Hey, look, I have accepted my night. Like,
Oh my lord.
I woke up this morning. I
do
was
is
like,
accept your life for what's left of it.
We have crazy nights without.
Yeah.
yeah, we have crazy nights without
I think the
events.
craziest nights are the ones that are just like, damn, man, that we did not plan this at all.
Last Friday.
Yeah, last Friday we almost killed somebody.
Oh dear lord.
Yeah, that was
I
bad.
don't know.
We'll tell you that later.
Yeah,
We'll tell you later.
There was
Hey, that-
self-incrimination on there.
Yes.
But I mean, you know, we're not all perfect human beings. you
Yeah,
know.
for real.
Everybody has their flaws, right?
Yes.
Everybody's got their flaws. So there was another subject we're about to get into
Yeah.
that I think someone
Hey.
would like to introduce.
Hey, look. Hey, they can talk about this one.
Yeah.
Go
So
ahead.
what was it? Acknowledging your flaws. That
when-
your partner.
Help out.
What's up?
Go ahead. You got to speak
Come
in the
on,
mic.
get-
You got to
get
speak in the
close to
mic.
this
Come on
mic.
now.
Come on.
That it's important to acknowledge your flaws as well as your partner's. Otherwise, if you don't, the relationship's just not going to work out.
Ooh. Okay.
Expound.
Okay.
Hey, can we keep it to like 4
Hey,
hours?
I just want to.
You
Hey.
sound just like her. Hey.
Hey.
The apple don't fall too far from the tree.
Hey, she's the Wednesday rider. She's Thursday rider.
I was about to say,
Let's be honest.
Thursday or next Wednesday. Next week.
Next Wednesday, I like that.
Next week.
No, yeah, I think that, I mean, as well as, you know, honesty, trust, it's all really, really important. Like, I don't understand how people can expect their relationship to work out when it's all about, oh, let me see your phone, or, oh, you know, where are you going? Oh, or, you know, if you don't,
Up top, yo, up top.
if you don't trust your partner, it says a lot about you and your insecurities, and I think that you should take a
She is
break.
definitely your child.
And
Hey, but now this opens the question.
Let's throw,
You may not
because
like-
this is what we do. This is what we do to her. We throw variables in there and
Yeah.
Okay.
like Idris Elba and everything. Just totally. That's my card though. That's my.
Who is it?
Wait, who is it?
Oh God, what's his name? I'll tell you in a
You
minute.
don't even remember.
Hey,
your
about
love
to say,
name?
I gotta have.
Discovered
Uh-uh.
him. Tiffany.
Have it? No.
Hashid's new movie. The guy, I think his name
Kevin
is-
Hart?
No.
Aquaman?
No,
you like Kevin Hart?
I gotta look him up. Tiffany Haddish's
What's-
new movie.
What's the name
The
of the movie?
guy. Nobody's Fool.
Yeah.
Oh.
That guy. What's his name?
Hey, y'all keep going. I'm a good.
Yeah, look that up. Look that up real quick.
It's all fine.
All right,
Okay,
but-
sorry. Go ahead,
So
baby.
you're saying basically like, you know, if your partner doesn't trust you, that says a lot about you, right?
Yeah, I think.
Now what if it's one of those, you give your partner that aspect, you give them that thought,
That vibe.
that vibe, like, hey, yeah, I can't trust you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's been proven that your partner can't trust you.
So
Very
like,
hard to-
say like they've cheated before,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Or that's been brought up, like even
That's a
you're
big,
getting
mature
you're getting
question
you're
there.
getting into the relationship, the start of the relationship, and that's brought up. Your partner brings that up, like, yeah, look, I've cheated before. So
well, I
that-
think
Look
that has-
at Corvez's face.
that has
because
happened.
he has
It's happened
experience
indeed.
with
Oh,
it.
that's the
I've
thing.
never, but I've seen.
Oh, you
I'm
never.
very observant, so
Fitting.
She said it.
I
Get
said
slapped.
has-
That's why I put her right here.
I didn't
I
say
want
it.
to see
She
her
said
slap
it.
the hell out of you
She
tonight.
said, I haven't experienced
She
it.
has.
well, I
She
haven't,
hasn't.
but at the same time, I'm fortunate enough to have friends that talk to me, and so from there, so to answer your question, I think if you're going into a brand new relationship, that if it has been in the past, you have to come into the relationship with forgiveness. Because if you don't, then you can't move on, and you're just gonna
Ready
be stuck
for it?
there.
I'm gonna throw more
Wait.
variables.
Wait,
Let me
no,
go.
wait,
Let me
no,
go. Let me go over.
Hold on,
I
okay.
came up
I
with
need
it.
to
All right, go
like
ahead.
be
It's right
sure.
there. So you're saying come into the relationship with forgiveness.
Yes,
Now,
but
what if in your past
Wait,
relationship?
whose forgiveness?
You've been
Whose
cheated on,
forgiveness?
or-
Your
Yes.
own forgiveness?
So-
forgiveness
so-
of
no, I think you
yourself?
should owe it to
So-
yourself to give yourself an opportunity to let them open up to you. Because if you're never gonna give
So
themselves an
don't come
opportunity,
into it with
then
baggage, right? But that's hard as hell
well,
to do.
well, no.
Well, I'm not saying baggage per se, but I'm saying, you know, if me and you, we meet, you know, and you've been cheated on in the past, in your past relationship, and I've been the cheater in my past relationship, I bring that up to you, you still go into that relationship with forgiveness?
well, there's
I
always
mean,
gonna be that
it's
underlying,
easier said
like,
than done. You know what I'm saying?
No, yeah,
well,
totally.
But here's the issue, right?
Kenny.
Are you done with? Are you done? Like, if it depends on what stage in the relationship we are. If you and I are in a getting to know each other, then I can't say that what you do with your life and your business is my business yet. But if you say to me, hey, Rosemary, I want a committed relationship where we're monogamous, right? For example, then
I don't want to be platonic no more. Let's be monogamous.
right.
Let's
we're
be
gonna move on
monogamous.
from platonic.
Got to get those words out.
Then you know we're making a.
Are we
an
discussing this at
agreement,
Starbucks over a vanilla latte?
Right? Possibly.
Okay.
Whipped up blended.
Would you like a whipped
Dough
or blended?
blended.
Hey, we gotta get our words in.
All right, there you go,
Anyway.
Chris.
It's her fault. She brought up Kevin Hart.
But I got one more variable. All right, so say
We
you get into your
Right.
your relationship, but like how you got into it,
Omari Hardwick.
like okay, your significant other is getting right out of the relationship to get with you. Now what?
Okay.
Oh,
Wait. I
That
think
looked like
Vince-
Michael B.
Vince
Jordan
got
for a
some.
second. That
I
looked like
think-
Michael
I
B.
think-
Jordan.
I think Vez should talk on this because you know he's.
Alright, so wait, repeat the question again.
All right,
So you've seen
so
power.
your significant other or your spouse, whatever,
gonna talk
was
about
in a relationship.
Right.
They got out of the relationship to get with you. Now, like, what is that vibe?
Wait, what was this?
Alright,
So
well,
say two people are
so
dating,
to be honest, it's
and they
like
just get out of a
two
relationship.
ways to that, you know what I'm saying? It could go both ways.
Yeah.
It's just like,
Wait.
it's more like, so if they were to like cross someone for you, that means they're most likely gonna cross you for somebody better. Cause that means at that moment that you were better than the person they were previously with, so therefore they had to cross that person to be with you just to have like that better feeling. It's kind of like an iPhone, like you know what I'm saying?
Hey,
It's like
he
an
said
iPhone though. So
he
it's
had
like
experience.
you get the 5 and you see the 6, you want the 6 because it's got better quality and everything. And the 7 come out, then they want the 7. So it's like,
Here's some.
So it's
retrospect.
like-
That's not always the case.
but that's
It
what I'm saying.
depends.
There's two sides
It
to this.
depends.
though.
Yeah,
it's
there's a
circumstance.
lot that can go into that specific problem
yeah,
because
like-
when it's one of those, if I'm with someone and it's just not working out, but I don't want to necessarily just be like, all right, you know what, forget it. I have no reason to leave at that point.
Yeah, but if it's
I have
no,
reasons, but not
why stay?
reasons
Well,
enough,
but-
right? You see someone else that are filling those other qualities that you no longer see in the person that you were with, and you leave them for that other individual. it's not necessarily because you see something better. It's just because there could be lack of communication in the relationship that you had that you're not expounding. Hey, look, I'm not getting these qualities
I completely
that
agree with
I
that.
used to see with you.
Yeah,
You know what
I
I'm
think
saying?
that's-
fine, but then you end the relationship you're with to pursue the other relationship. Because here's what I learned while I was gone, guys.
Ooh.
Here's what I learned. When we meet somebody in that initial stage of attraction, we're in this period where they called it eros, where it's like you have this humongous peak of everything. You like everything about that person. You're super excited about that person. You want to be with that person. You want to spend time with that person. Then that period starts to like decrease a little bit because other things start to come into play. The monotony, the routine, the more exposure of yourself. At that point, if you're starting to feel like, yeah, this is not for me, and I'm feeling this sense of eros now with you, then end that relationship. Why then say, let me entertain you while I got this secure on lockdown here? That's where the
gotta
problem
wait
is.
for that.
But see, here's the thing, though. That's easy to say. That's very easy to do when you're just in relationship to relationship to relationship. That's harder to do when you're married.
Right, and that's when you
That's-
don't jump the ball or the broom or whatever with
But
someone else.
I think
while
it's
you're-
possible to fall out of love with somebody, and
Yes.
the thing is that somebody can help you. Okay, wait, no, let me rephrase that. When you're in a relationship and you're already, downing and you're still working through it, even if you are in a marriage, your automatic response is to try and work through it because, you're married, you made a promise. Yet you meet someone and you're starting to notice, wow, I'm having an attraction, you automatically go into that panic, like, oh my gosh, like, I can't believe I'm thinking that way towards another person because I'm married and stuff like that. I think it helps them realize, wow, I'm really, like, I've fallen out of love with that person, and that's how they end it.
Right, or it helps you identify what's been missing for you because we're constantly evolving in relationships, right? So, who I was when I first got married to who I was 2 years or a year later is not the same person. And so let's say you and I are married and we're a year into it, and now I meet Castle, and suddenly Castle has an interest that I have that you have not been helping me evolve, right? Because
Key thing right there,
Right?
you said it right there. I think what's definitely important is that what tends to get lost in so many relationships, especially with marriage, is that because there's so many different aspects that are completely different. Is his job, her job, different jobs. His interests, her interests, different interests.
Common interest.
And instead of trying to find common interests or allow each other to take your own interests and
bloom
grow,
them. Yes.
grow together with that, that's what happens is
Yes.
when we fall out of love, so to speak, or fall out of interest or whatever the case may be, that's when we start to see so many things. I mean, it's
love
like
is a fleeting emotion. Love is a fleeting
perfect
emotion.
example is with me and my wife, we both love to travel. I know me, I've been to pretty much everywhere she hasn't been lately. Like, I've already been to Taipei before she has. I've already been to Thailand. I've already been to Korea. But going there with her is a different experience. It's almost about what we talked about last week. When you go out somewhere and you're going out with your boys versus when you're going out with your significant other. So when me and my wife went to Taipei, we went to a completely different part. And there's a lot more that I got to see with her and experience with her that made it that much more rewarding and a special experience as opposed to
Going
when
out
I
with
went
boys.
before me and her were together.
They don't
Disclaimer, and I was doing
They don't
other
have
stuff.
couple soap
Disclaimer.
land there?
Doing her right thing.
So the key is, right, when you're in that stage in your relationship where you're growing and expanding, you need
it's
to learn,
important.
you need to communicate that with your partner, and your partner has to be willing to want to explore that with you and not feel threatened by your growth, right? Because sometimes
that's
what
a lot of
happens
people
is
is
the
they get
partner gets threatened and pulls away from you because of that, wants to pull you away from that, and what that does is it makes you more attracted to the environment that invites your growth.
And a lot of us are so in our own growth that we miss the fact of, hey, look, I need to, if I see my significant other being threatened by my growth, I have to kind of come down and be in some
meet them
humility
where they're
and be
at,
like,
yeah.
you know what, hey, like, for me, I love dancing. Wifey is not as big on dancing as I am, so for me, it's like, yeah, when I'm out, yeah, I'll go dance, do whatever, but the one chance I can get where she's like, hey, let's dance real quick. Bet. No
it,
problem.
yes,
Let's do it.
yes,
Hell yeah.
yeah.
And I'm not gonna be all fancy. I'm gonna be at her level. It's
And
it's
if you
that natural
don't
thing.
have all these combinations, and you do feel like there just isn't love there, and there isn't attraction anymore, and there isn't this desire to have lifelong planning, that's when you have to have a real check-in with yourself. And you have to decide, all right, is this a relationship that I want to bring this person into where there isn't these factors in it anymore? Or do I get out of that relationship and then pursue myself and whatever other interests are? And I think a lot of people have that crossing, that decision-making process, whether you stay and you work it and you grow and you do whatever it takes, or you leave. That's where people get stuck. Where do I go and which one do I do? And so instead we start acting out. We start having fights. We start arguing over the stupidest little things. And
how to fold a towel.
How to fold a towel.
It's weird. It's going back to what he said with his personal experience. So it's when we see that, we come and meet someone new, right? And they have those particular interests that we want right then and there. It goes back to you're exchanging that 80-20 rule, so to speak. You already got 80% of what you need. You're looking for that little itty bitty 20%, and when you go and you go after it, and you find out that
grass is always greener.
That 80% is the one that you have to work constantly. Yep. We do not stop working in a relationship. A relationship is a lot of work. Sometimes I think that's why I'm single. Because it is a lot of work.
Every day there's a new development.
Got to rub the hair.
But it's worth it in the end.
But then it is worth it, right?
Then
Then I am so fortunate to talk to people that I know that have been married 21, 25, 27 years and 29 years, and they'll share,
shout out to those that
I so
goals,
admire that.
Motherfucking goals.
But yes, relationship goals all the way. But it is about getting through those moments when you really don't like the person you're with. You love them, but you just don't like them. It's really getting past that and finding what it is
it goes back to the core of it. It's a choice to love. You choose to love the person. It's an everyday choice.
Are you really?
I don't know. You're having some
Yo, are you fine?
We need to build a wall right here.
Oh, why?
Looking at me.
Why we need a wall?
You looking at this loyal person over here?
Hey, whoa, I'm loyal as fuck.
Drip.
What is loyal to you guys at this age? Like, what is loyal?
At this age or that age?
No, you are.
Right, look.
Let's go around. Let's reverse it. We're gonna start with Cal.
What is loyalty?
So we're gonna start right here.
That's weird though.
What is loyalty in a relationship? Let's make it clear. In a relationship. In a monogamous relationship.
Let's start it off with Mr. Loyal.
All right.
That tattooed across your chest.
Hey, loyalty before death, right? No, but
you're gonna die tonight.
Hey, no. So what it means to be loyal in a relationship? One.
Spread out. I think Thunder's gonna hit. Lightning.
Oh wait, hold on.
I don't know why.
Loyalty in a relationship is being defined. Woo.
Hey, but no. So for my own relationship, like.
Wait, are you in a relationship now and I didn't know about it?
Oh,
like,
that is crazy.
That's crazy. Now you come back with a relationship.
Yeah.
No, he's been loyal.
Wait, what? I am so confused right now. I'm sorry, did I just
disclaimer off the mic?
Somebody's not going home tonight. Sorry. I'm just kidding.
Hey, I'm dying tonight, so I don't know what you're talking about. But no,
I'm just kidding.
So loyalty in a relationship is like, one, I'm completely committed to that relationship and to that person. Why are you looking out the window? Come on now. No, so yeah,
what does that mean?
How you
completely committed?
Yeah, because you said
committed.
You say you committed to the relationship and that person, the individual.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
Yeah, right. Because I'm a little confused. Are they pretty much the same? Like,
listen, I'm about to break it down for you.
Okay.
All right.
Educate.
So being committed to the individual. So yes, I'm there for her. She's there for me. Anything that she needs, anything that like I can help her with, I'm completely there for her. Then committed to a relationship.
Mom, I showed my
yeah, hold
on. I saw through the glass.
Yeah, I'm looking. I'm like, oh, I didn't spark the nerve. All right, but now committed to a relationship. So
okay.
So like everything about the relationship, like I'm there for it. Like when people ask me, hey, I got proof.
I didn't know that.
I got the proof.
Was a separate variable.
No, it comes into the
so
fact.
You're there for the.
I'm there for the.
He said for everything.
I'm there for the person.
Even the water.
So we established that you're there for her.
Yes.
So
and
back to
the byproduct of it is a relationship.
Byproduct.
The byproduct, does that include a certain
Oh,
bed?
whoa! Hey, you want to drop some? You want to drop some knowledge, huh? You want to drop some shit, huh? Go ahead, please.
No, go ahead, kid. Go ahead, kid. He's like yelling.
Please.
Okay, go ahead.
Please.
Finish your definition of loyalty.
It's his birthday. He could be loyal if he wants to.
Okay. So
Anything you want on your
loyalty is being committed to her, to all of her,
Being committed to the
everything about her.
being committed to the individual. Like you're not going out.
You giving her asthma. She got asthma.
I'm not even playing. Like, I got the palm to prove it.
Pull out the pump, shake it. Hey, that reminds me.
Hey,
of
y'all just if y'all didn't
People
see
make me
that,
laugh so
she
hard,
just
I
used
started
her inhaler. That's how you know it's deep in here.
Hey, but no.
The loyalty is thick.
All right, so loyalty is being committed to her.
The
Yeah.
pressure of the loyalty is
And the
thick in the air.
byproduct of your commitment to her is the relationship.
It's a relationship, yes.
Okay. Castle.
Corvez.
Corvez. Vez.
Alright.
What?
I'm gonna just
What
say
is
Corvette.
loyalty
doesn't
to
sound
you?
fine.
I'm gonna say this right now. He is the most loyal person
Oh,
our
that's
age
facts.
that
That's
I know.
facts.
I'm gonna be
I
honest.
swear to
Why
God.
you shaking your head?
No,
No.
I swear to God. Like, I swear to
He
God,
is,
that's facts.
he
Like,
is.
no.
What makes
All
you
right.
want to be so loyal?
So wait, what is loyal?
But-
What is being loyal?
Yeah.
in a
What?
Oh yeah.
relationship?
First that one. First the loyalty.
All right.
What's loyalty to you?
All right, loyalty to me is more like I can trust myself with this person and I can trust this person with me. Cause it's like for me, it's like
You know, some
it's
black
like
thought stuff.
if
I love
it's like if I feel like I can't trust you, then I know you don't trust me. So if it's like if loyalty is supposed to be pretty much about like trust and like being comfortable with a certain person, if you don't trust me, I can't trust you, right? So it's just like, you know what I'm saying? It's like loyalty, you gotta be 100% with this person. Like you gotta be with them mentally and physically, and you know what I'm saying, emotionally and all that. If you're not with them at like if you're missing like one of those things, you're not really loyal to that person. Cause then it's like it's like a piece of you. It's like it's not there with them 100%. It's just like it's like a piece. It's like still that chance you might go do something with somebody else. If that's like if that somebody else come around, you know what I'm
You
saying?
should put the hood on and go ahead and take it.
Hey, where's that loyalty? Hey, don't you know?
Hey, where is his loyalty? He traded the hood in for the hat. I'm saying.
Where's your loyalty?
He could have had both. He could have had the hood and the hat tonight.
Oh, you are? Okay.
I can,
Hey,
You know what I'm
hey,
saying?
T, I want you to
agree
be
with
paying
that.
attention when you come up.
I can agree to that definition. You know that first, I really like the trust in yourself. Like
Yeah.
that's pretty. That's smart as all hell. Because you're right. Like you want loyalty from another person, but you're not sure about yourself. How can you offer loyalty or how can you ask for loyalty if you don't have loyalty to
Yeah,
self?
if you don't have 100% in yourself, you cannot give 100% to another person. Period.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's just it. It's
Yeah.
just how I'm gonna be at 75% good, and wanna support you with that.
And you
like
know-
I want to support you with 100%, but I only got a 75% to give.
Loyalty also,
saying?
loyalty is based on your commitment to in anything with a person, with a group, with
Friends,
with
family.
a philosophy, is that there's some consistency, right? But people change, organizations change, and so does loyalty, right? So I don't think loyalty is one size fits all and it's do or die. I don't think loyalty is do or die. I would not want to just rely on my relationship simply by saying
I don't necessarily
I'm
say it's-
loyalty to you. I'm loyal to you. You're loyal to me right now because you agree with me and you like me and you're
You
on
can
my
benefit
same
off of
page.
me.
But what happens when you're not on my same page? Right? So, but that's
I'm
where
glad you're hitting
loyalty
that because
to
when it
self-
when it comes around this way, I'm gonna bring some real
Okay.
shit out. I'm gonna bring some real shit out. Go ahead. Do your thing.
Come on, Thursday Rider.
Thursday, right?
Well,
Wednesday.
actually, this topic for me, I feel like it's hard for me to talk about loyalty. Well, one, because up until a little bit ago, I didn't really believe in.
I'm sorry if it was because of what he said.
No. It was actually. It was.
Imagine if Chris was here.
Oh, my God.
You definitely can't bring him in.
No.
No.
That's why I asked.
No, up until a little while ago, like, we were in the car, I didn't really believe in, like, I mean, I thought it was cool if other people had, like, long-term relationships and stuff, but I couldn't see myself being in a long-term relationship because, I'm going to be honest, like, sometimes I'm like, how do you guys not get bored of each other? Or like stuff like that. And I think that's just because of my age speaking. But for me, I think loyalty has to be earned. I don't think it's given right off the bat. Like my mom said, it certain situations fit certain people. Like depends on your partner. Oh no, it depends on your partner. It's not always gonna be fun, but I mean, if you're loyal to them and let's say you guys have a fight or something, like, are you automatically gonna lose it? Same thing with love, like.
She hitting on
Same
the
thing
line.
with love, like.
Cause you know me, I'm transparent, so I'm about to put some shit on the mic.
No, yeah, same
Bang.
thing with love. Like, if you guys get in a fight, does that mean that you stop loving me? Like, you have to be with the ups and downs. And yeah, that's really all I gotta say because I don't really know. I'm not.
All right, Kat, you ready?
You go.
No.
If you know, if you
We're
want-
going down
no.
the line.
We're going down the line.
I'll bring it back
Down the
to.
line.
I'll bring it back to you. I'm gonna go. All right. So I know we're talking a lot about loyalty and relationships, like, you know, your significant other. But I'm gonna touch on loyalty just overall for me, and I'm gonna use a person I come to a lot and discuss with my loyalty issues. You know, for me, it's kind of like what you said earlier. It's going back to you have to earn it. For me, especially, I know I'm gonna give 100%. I'm gonna give you the shirt off my back. Whether you're my significant other, whether I consider you a
It'd be the
brother
same
or
shirt.
sister, I don't give a
Not
fuck.
that shit,
I mean, you know, my skin is thick, you know.
No.
Yeah, I can't give it to y'all. Y'all got the same shirt.
Shoot, I just realized that.
Yeah. But
What is this?
oh shit, my bad. That was a miss Bell. But for me, it's a lot to do with when a relationship is at its most tumultuous stage. So that loyalty comes into effect when you know you really have a lot of love for that person, you have a lot of trust for that person, and you're going through some shit right now, the both of you, and you're trying to figure out, shit, do I let this person go? That's when the loyalty comes in.
Yeah, when your loyalty
Because
is tested.
yes, when your loyalty is absolutely tested, because it's easy to say, just like you said, it's easy to say at the point in time, hey, you know, I got trust in you, because it's easy to say it.
But then how do you know, like, when you are ready to let go, how do you know you're not betraying that person? Like,
How do you know you're not betraying that person?
Or- no, wait,
I'll
wait,
give you,
yeah,
I'll give you
like-
an example.
That's a
I'm
great
gonna put transparency on his
dear
finest.
God.
Okay, me and this guy here have been me and this
Handling
guy
it,
here
yeah.
have been through some shit, and without a shadow of a doubt, he already knows, like, the biggest thing you can ever do is betray me. That's the biggest thing, and it's that little inkling of, if I feel like I'm being betrayed, I will dismiss the shit out of you.
That's super crazy.
And it's one of those like,
and-
I've talked to her,
let me
and it's
add
one
to
of those,
that.
I don't give you any second thought.
And let me add to that.
Like, you
right?
don't
You know?
ask them, like, did
No,
you?
Well,
I don't.
Hold on, the betrayal, right? Because it's the betrayal based on a perception, right?
Right.
So you're
it-
assuming?
Yeah,
It's an assumption.
It's a type of assumption, right? But
It's based on
perception.
my perception
His-
from what I'm
his
seeing with my own
reality
eye.
is how he perceives it to be, and that becomes his reality, right?
Right.
So,
So
it
then
doesn't-
the loyalty is tested,
It's tested.
but
It's tested.
That's
I'm looking
right.
at it from my perception, but if I really care about this person, I'm gonna look past my perception, go to someone else, someone else unbiased that'll look at it from their angle, which is why I went to her and
know
I
my mom's
consulted with her.
smart. Oof.
Like for real, she'll tell you. Like,
She
I
put
came
on
to
that
her
degree.
and I was like, "Look, check it out. Like, I'm like, seriously,
Lay down the
shit-
facts, and then she'll give you her honest
Shit's hitting the
opinion.
fan. I need to talk to you." And we went to lunch, and that was an awesome lunch too.
It was.
So
Shout out
then-
to Vongo and Anchor.
So then,
know?
do you believe in second
Well,
chances?
let him finish this
Yeah.
story so you could hear. See how that
So
happened.
I believe in it in its aspect, you know. I believe in the aspect of second chances, but for me personally, it depends on the person. You really have to be worth my time. The people that I share my time with, that I consider family, are individuals that I know are going to provide growth to me and allow me to provide growth to them. So if you're about that life, cool.
Well, here's the thing,
It's
right?
days.
When loyalty
It's days
is
we can go.
tested, when especially friendships, right? When friendships are tested, you have to also measure your growth in that test, right? So are you? Because we had that conversation.
Yeah.
Like, where are you standing? I hear your perception and all that other story, but where are you standing in this? Where's your growth? And Sly was like, really, like, he amplified. He opened up his aperture of how he was seeing things. He was like, oh, damn. okay, I really need to revisit this.
Can I help?
And that is where a test of loyalty comes in, and a lot of maturity and a lot of vulnerability, emotional vulnerability, and it confronts your own belief system and all that good stuff. So, and then if that relationship is to survive, it will, and if it's not, it doesn't, and that's when you know you move on.
Oh man.
Hey, dropping that degree on us.
Dropping the
Kylie
real
All
Jenner
right.
and,
All right, Kylie, back to
Okay,
you.
Cass,
Back to you.
now's your
All
turn.
right,
Jordan.
so loyalty, right?
Loyalty. To friends, to family, to everyone.
Even the hood that you don't have on right now.
Hey, me and the hood already had this conversation. But go ahead. We back on you. We back
I
on
don't know
you.
why y'all. I'm nothing special. I ain't got nothing to say about loyalty other than the fact that I do agree it does change, and there's a lot of shut your mouth. You got something to say?
Go.
We talking about
Speak.
loyalty, not cock blocking.
No, we're talking about loyalty right here.
Yeah, we talk.
No,
Not cock blocking.
You're not understanding. We're talking about loyalty right now.
All right, whatever
I'll
that
fill you in
language is,
later.
can you
I'll fill you in later.
They're having like a whole other conversation.
I see.
Anyways, loyalty changes. Hi. Okay. Anyway,
Is
he's
that
not
loyalty
loyal to
passing
me.
by?
He's not loyal to me.
He's smiling.
Whatever. No, loyalty definitely, like, obviously, like everybody else is saying, it changes based on, the situation, the people, how long you've known said person, what the situation is. A great example of this was, there's a little club that I know some people own, some friends of mine that work at a club, and I worked at said club as well. And I disagreed with a lot of different things going on, and I didn't really get along with a certain person that worked at the club as well. And we had some differences, and I seen a lot of demand and not a lot of stuff getting done, and more or less got fired. No big deal to me, honestly.
But that's a perfect example of a loyalty shift, right?
Well, here's the thing. Here's where the loyalty in that whole situation comes into play is the reason I was so accepting of being fired is because said people are my two best friends, and I didn't want the situation at the club getting in between my friendship because I value the friendship way more than the club. So there's
That's a
kind of
test.
there's kind of like it's do I want to follow my passion and continue DJing and doing this and doing that, or do I value my friendships with people that like I said it can change. One day me and TJ might actually stab each other in the throat.
Hopefully not.
But until that day comes,
Nah, Lex will get first.
it certainly
I ain't
changes,
saying
and it's
between y'all
also
two.
it's
Okay.
always situationally dependent upon. Well, obviously, we've thrown in 1,000 different variables already, but variables change all the time. So.
It's fighting a lot through those variables.
Yeah.
That's what it goes back to the test of loyalty at its highest stake. I mean, when me and this guy have known each other for what, 2.5 years?
2.5 years.
And I mean,
Yeah, but
my
2.5 years feels like 10.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah,
You know,
and that's
with the
that's the
shit
thing.
we've been
Like
through
with,
together.
with the thing that's so crazy about both me and him is we both came to each other already going through our own individual shit, and we supported each other going through our individual shit.
And that
even
kinda, like,
after that,
expounds the
Yeah.
bonding, right? When you're
Yeah.
going through something together and you're overcoming it together, it
Exactly.
makes the bond even stronger. And so when the relationship is tested outside of a similar situation, like when now you're opposing in views, that's the real tester to it. Or misunderstanding, like a profound misunderstanding, or a profound misperception. That's when a relationship gets really tested.
Yeah.
So. And that's where you
Wait.
see.
I've
what-
lost a lot of friendships
I just
because
have,
of that.
I just have one question. Do your mom drop knowledge on you like this on a regular?
Yes.
I can imagine waking
but-
up. And it's like,
that's awesome though. Like you know, you
I
just
have them,
you
like,
come downstairs and you eating cereal and you just getting all this knowledge. Like, damn man, fuck school, man. Like, you know,
that's
I'm like, I got school right here. You know what I'm saying? Like,
And you know what? The truth is, I learn from them. That is the truth. I learn from every experience and every
We're gonna come chill with y'all school.
No,
please
I'm
don't.
gonna sit in the
Oh
back
my
and
gosh,
just-
I hate it.
Like my
This math class is
youngest,
amazing.
she's equally impressive, and not because they're my children, but just equally impressive. And they challenge me in such a way that I have to stretch myself. Yes,
I think
that's the
it's. I think
perfect
it goes.
description. I have to rise up.
Not just rising up, but it's a refreshing experience to see individuals so young that have what we used to have, and it's like shit. That's what that felt like. Damn, I need to go back to that.
Yeah, when she was 6 and her sister was 4 or 7 and 4, I wrote this thing and I named it "It Takes a Child to Raise a Parent," and I have stuck to that all the way through my whole entire parenting years, because even going through my divorce, our divorce, and all of that, like, it just really, I have grown up and become the person I am because of my children.
I think, well, maybe it's just because, I'm not trying to kiss up or anything, but I think my mom's really, I think she's a really, really strong individual. Like,
oh yeah, we know that. You ain't got to tell us that.
She's not kissing.
I think, so, I actually kind of, the whole divorce, how that worked in my family, I think it was more of a benefit than, like, I look at it as a good thing than a bad thing, and it allowed a lot of opportunities for our family to grow more that I wouldn't have gotten if, my mom had sheltered me as much. And I think it's so cool because we're really open with each other. Like, I can never keep any secrets. I'm terrible at it. So bad.
Even if you tried.
Yeah, like, I can try, and then we're in the car for like 20 minutes. I'm like, oh, Mom, I gotta tell you something.
But she gonna give you that look, like, I know already.
No, like, oh gosh, like my first kiss.
Uh-oh.
Hey.
That would qualify as a
Rez didn't know. Rez didn't know.
He like, you did what?
No, I didn't tell.
All right, we gotta hear the story now.
The best friend didn't know.
We got news.
Hey, he's mad at you now. Go ahead.
Okay, wait. To be fair, he had kept something from me. Actually, that I just discovered this week.
Okay.
Bringing out dirt.
He kept it from me for the longest
Ladies
time,
and
and our
gentlemen,
best
the loyalty
friend
is being
code.
tested.
Our best
Will they
friend code
survive?
is that we go to each other. We go to each other before anybody else.
Okay, but the thing is,
But on
my
the
two
line-
best friends,
He
they're
just
like,
did a classic.
they're
But
like
see, what had happened was
they're extremely judgy, right?
So
And
he's-
then it's mainly like the first one. The first one's like extremely judgy.
Yeah, our
whatever.
other best
and then
friend.
she normally goes with whatever.
No.
It kind of
Alpha
like.
females. His best friends are 2 alpha females.
So, wait, let me explain this situation first, because I think this is perfectly... No.
No, we're not
Back
you.
up for them.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I think we should...
Leo.
I'm a Leo. We're both Leos. We're 2 days apart.
Yeah, but he's a Leo.
So I think we should explain this story because it is a perfect example of loyalty. Perfect.
My story?
Yes. Okay, wait.
You explaining my story. I'm gonna explain it.
Okay. No, yeah, I think it's fair.
Hey,
I think-
like I said, it
I
is going
think it's
down
fair.
here in the heat
No, explain your
tonight.
story. I ain't never heard the first kiss.
I don't want to tell
You
him.
realize you're live, right? Like, you realize the
Yeah.
whole world is hearing, okay?
Hey, look, I got
It's
I just
okay.
wanna make sure
No,
you know.
yeah.
Okay.
It's okay. It's just I don't want him to know who it was
Disclaimers.
with.
Then don't say.
Okay,
Don't
okay,
say.
yeah,
Actually,
no.
don't
Hey.
say.
Oh, he
Okay,
gonna
yeah.
know. He gonna know. You gonna tell
we
afterwards.
never drop names.
Okay,
We
that's
not
perfect.
drop
No
That's
name
perfect.
drops in
Okay.
here.
So
Just
my
remember your dad is
first.
Yo,
listening.
it is.
Yeah.
It is.
Hey.
I know it's all
Thick in
P.
here tonight.
It's all good.
Okay.
So my first kiss was actually this year,
Oh, okay.
and
In April,
no, yeah, I'm like the baby out of everybody, but no, so
Yo, he's just looking at her pic.
He's got a mad dad look on his face.
so actually, what had happened was, we
I
were.
was about to call you to kill some kid.
So my mom believes in that a man or a boy should always have the woman's permission to have a kiss. So
Consent,
consent,
that's right.
yes. But in this situation, it was a surprise kiss. Yeah.
Wait, I got it.
And
He's like,
and
Crazy.
and
Everybody is in awe. Everybody is in
and
awe.
it actually happened. So
Even
we
I am
had
in awe.
we had been walking to class, and it happened at school too. It happened at
He
school.
was carrying the books, right?
What?
Carrying the books, right?
No.
No.
I was carrying my backpack and everything. We had distance between us because I'm very like picky. Like, I mean, Corvez is my best friend. But yeah, so we had been walking and he stopped me and we were just talking.
Oh, whoa.
He stopped me in
hold
front
on,
of
wait,
the
whoa.
doors.
Stalker.
No,
Stop.
stop.
Stop me.
Okay. All right, bet.
He
yeah.
really about to. Hey,
Your mom lets you know, like,
He had stopped me.
crack knuckles, pop.
Check this out.
And oh my gosh, it's really bad because he had stopped me and he started getting closer. And that should have been my first alarm bells, but I ignored it because I was like, maybe he's just being really, cool with it or whatever.
In your personal space.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
But,
He got really close to me,
What, like?
and then he like, yeah, and then he was like smooth talking me and everything, and it, yeah, and I was just sitting there like, okay, and the bell was about to ring, so right before the bell rang, and we noticed there was nobody there, he had like kind of pulled me closer and just went for it, like that,
What is that called?
and I was like,
that's
Without permission.
That's a hell of a risky quickie right there.
Thank you.
Hey,
that is G-rated risky quickie.
and he had just went for it, and I was like, oh my gosh, and
Wait,
well,
so you
what
ain't
I
slap
was
him?
thinking about, no,
Did you kiss him back?
because, well, I don't know what kissing back is considered
That was
because
my first kiss.
because
Wait,
that
hold
was my
on.
first kiss.
Wait. How long did this last? Was in your head
Oh,
like 5
like
seconds?
no, like less than anything because so it was funny because I wasn't thinking about the kiss. What I was thinking was about, oh my god, there are windows everywhere. Like teachers are watching. Like I was freaking. I was like, oh my god, my mom's gonna find out. No. What had happened was he tried to reach for my hand so we could walk into the door together, and I went no.
So it was an innocent, it was innocent.
Pop
At
kiss.
first I
That sounded like
lost
it was a
my
dare.
shit. Like
That
I'm
sounded
not
like
gonna-
someone dared.
Yes. And
That
then,
sound-
well,
Well,
Hey, man,
no,
wait,
he
bet
a dollar.
he
Bet a
liked
dollar.
me.
Better
they
dollar I do.
they were talking, and he had interest in her, and he went for the kiss, but he missed all the
The signs.
So she was like, what?
And-
Had this happen? And no, you can't hold my hand after that.
All right, but
Should've been
my
slap.
question is, what's up with homeboy? Like, is he still around? Like,
No, because
okay.
Oh, but that's
Oh,
a
he
whole different
PCS?
story.
Whoa.
No,
He
we can't
PCS?
get into that because then I'm gonna get mad. But anyway, so then what had happened was
social?
she was ready to call you.
What's
It
the
was
social?
ugly.
I was
I get it.
Where he live at now?
Hey, it's okay. I got the recording.
This is where I
get it.
have to balance things as a mom, right? Because if I overreact, then it puts her in this I can't
So
tell
check it
you
out.
when.
You see us.
Yeah.
Let us know.
Y'all hearing this?
Well,
because
some of the story,
know.
he ended up trying to talk to another girl while talking to me, and then
Yeah.
talked
In
about
high
but I would
school.
pick you over him
Yeah.
or over
That's
her.
crazy. Hey, this month need to know about loyalty and stop being a
now
hoe.
you know, no name.
And I
I
felt
know who it is
betrayed.
now.
I felt
Okay.
betrayed, and I was like, as soon as he told me,
I
I was like, bye. I was
Yes.
like, bye.
She
But
should let you know we hungry to stomp people out.
Really?
I shut it down. I handled myself.
Yes,
I think I
was
handled
very
it.
proud
Tip
of
of my
her. She
tongue.
took care of herself, and she pushed that aside and was like, nope, that's
I handled
You
myself.
let know
But
you
what
did.
happened was,
She didn't tell me.
I didn't tell
about that.
anybody
didn't know.
because I felt like if I involved other people, it would have changed everything. And I did not want other people to get into it. But anyway,
three
how my
green
mom
belt
found out was I was freaking out because teachers were there, and the language arts teacher had saw us, and that's when I started freaking out. So we were going to the commissary, and we were sitting in the car, and then I asked her.
Was our teacher?
No.
We were in the car, and I asked her, and I was like, "Hey, Mom, when was your first kiss?"
Oh damn, you gave it away right there.
I had to because this island is so small.
Was the
It's
car
so
stopped when you
small.
told her when you asked her this? Or
Okay.
were y'all
Yes,
like,
we
"Ah."
were parked.
We're
We were
like-
Okay,
parked.
that was smart.
Alright,
That was
hey.
smart.
What's
I get.
Who kissed you?
We were parked.
Mom, my nose, shit.
Nah, continue your story.
But my initial reaction was to not tell her. But then I realized that would defeat the whole purpose of our mother-daughter bonding and how we worked up to this moment. When I finally started getting ready,
Wait,
So
I just want to
so
say,
we don't get to start everybody out?
I just want to say, my mom still thinks I'm a virgin till this day.
Not anymore.
No,
Not
she-
anymore.
No, she don't.
I ain't never confirmed.
Take your hat off and slap yourself in the face.
What was that he said? The rapper in the car? Yeah,
Hey.
no.
That was just
Ladies and
Thank you
gentlemen,
for sharing that story, baby.
This is what you call bullshit right there.
Yes, exactly.
That
Stay
shit
away
that
from
came out his
that.
mouth, you know what I'm saying? No.
Oh,
Alright.
yeah, that's my.
Alright.
So speaking
Alright.
of love.
Hold on, he wanted to tell his story.
No.
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 We said, hey,
No.
how y'all doing?
Speaking of love,
Right.
hey,
I mean, that's a love confession.
yes.
Not from you, but from, pretty much what him doing
I was gonna say,
that.
I've never been in love.
By him kissing you, that was a love confession.
That was an attempt.
I'm not going to say it was an attempt. It was a very sorry ass attempt. Not very gentleman or chivalrous. But nonetheless, it's a love attempt. It's a love
So
confession.
I want to talk about that.
So
It's so
I'm saying, we talking about love confessions, so there's good and bad ones. We just had our example of a bad one. Let's get into a good one.
So my very, very good friend, I don't know if I should, I'm not going to mention her name just in case, but she messaged me while I was on my TAD and said, hey, do you remember such and such? We've been friends for 30 years, blah, blah, blah. And I don't remember. But she this year had a revelation that they're very close friends, almost best friends, that she's in love with him.
Yeah.
And she decided to take the risk to let him know. And so she wrote this.
Shoot your shot 2019.
Yes, right? I'm all about it. I am so all about it.
Got that stuff brain.
And so she wrote this really beautiful letter. And she and her friend drove to his house, put a bottle of wine and this letter, and left it there for him to read. And now she is like waiting anxiously to see what he's gonna say. And she confessed her love in this letter and said, above all, our friendship comes first, but I need you to know how I feel. And I think that's such a courageous thing to do. No.
Where can I get one of those?
I do. I think that's so courageous.
That's straight up out of a movie right there.
Right? I was like, girl, this is a novela.
That's some cinema shit.
Right? Yeah. So I'm super excited. I hope she finds
So
out.
you're going to keep us updated, right?
I'm saying, we're going.
She's like, can you ask the
you write a
guys,
book
like,
about
what
it?
do you think? What is my risk of doing this? She wanted me to ask
All
you
right.
guys on the
So,
radio.
I think
Hey,
she
Puerto Rico in the
she
house.
already realizes the risk is just coming to terms and accepting the risk.
Yeah.
Because by already she committed to it.
Yeah,
She committed to it, and
delivered the note last
that is
night.
much applause. That is much applause because not a lot of people
Standing
are
for
willing
love.
to do that, or a lot of people do that at the wrong time. Like
Yes.
I've had love confessions brought to me at a most inappropriate time. You can't do that when a person leave the freaking states and come. Oh, I just want to let you know I had these friends. No, you didn't. You lying. You trying to get in these benefits. Hush your mouth. Nope.
Yeah, no,
Not working.
30 years of
But
really
yeah,
strong
that's.
friendship.
I don't think she has to worry much about risking because she's already committed to it.
Yeah.
I would, if anything, like that's going back to what we said earlier about like understanding your growth and where you're at in that process. She's grown.
Yeah.
Just from doing that, she's completely grown. So that means whether this works out or not, that's something she can bring into the next relationship. Who's gonna accept that about her? Like,
Yeah.
oh dang, you a risk taker? Bet, cool. Because not everybody like that. I mean,
I'm with you. I
Nah,
think it's
and
really
I-
courage.
what kind of wine was it? Was it red or red or white?
No,
I
I
think
didn't
for
ask
the-
her.
Pinot
I was
Grigio?
hoping she'd be on tonight.
I think
watching.
for that entire relationship, like maybe, like, honestly,
Right?
after 30 years worth of friendships, like, there's been friendships that I have lost, and just because, like, we kind of fell out. But, like, if you had that long-lasting friendship, like, you have some type of connection. So, honestly, this could have just been the stepping stone, because maybe the guy has been scared this entire time to, like, maybe confess his love for her. So, maybe now he received this note, like, he like, oh, this is how she feels? Okay, now I can reciprocate my actual feelings. And I don't have to withdraw. Like, I don't have to, like, lock my actual feelings away because I don't know how she feels.
Right.
So this can be really good for them. Like, I really do want to be kept updated. Like, hey, I also want to be invited to the wedding.
Friends that damn
I
long.
have to
Most
tell you,
I
she
just
sent me
want wine.
pictures. She sent me pictures, and I could see the body language, and I can see like the joy in their face and all of that. So I'm really rooting for them
Was it a
because
handwritten?
The pictures?
Don't know.
Yes. It's old
She did it in
soul.
like calligraphy and all that.
Not.
She's sitting there with the feather,
her
like,
handwriting
you know.
is pretty to begin with. So,
To my
and then she
dearest
signed,
John.
like, oh, forever your friend. Like, I was like, oh my
Teardrop
God, this is
letters.
like right back to high school, you know.
Like it was all poetic. Like,
Yeah, really sweet, and she kept going back
John,
to our friendship has surpassed so
I've thought about
many-
you for
I
a
mean,
mist
think
of
about it.
days.
30 years of friendship, and
That's-
they've gone
So
through
y'all-
ups and downs.
that
and
means
whatnot.
that one aspect that you mentioned, that one factor that they've
Oh, no, I
been
used to
friends
write
for
that.
that long.
That's
30
nice.
years.
Man,
That's
if that don't get you to shoot your shot, I don't know what will.
Right?
wait, hold up. We having sidebar conversation. What y'all talking about? What's up?
So he's talking about
Bring it to
whoever
the mic.
like got to know or like
Yeah.
wrote.
So
with.
back in high school, you know, or back in any type of school, you ever write those notes like, "Oh, do you like me? Yes or no?" And you send it.
Nah, I ain't never wrote those.
Yes. Gotcha.
No.
I ain't never wrote those. I ain't never seen those.
I was
notes.
asking for his personal story.
No, they got text now, man.
Oh,
Well, no,
No, he said he still does it. He still does it.
That's because he's
Nah,
he's a mature
old
person.
I mean,
school
You hear what he's
I
talking
don't
about
do this.
loyalty? It was a lot more
I
profound than
don't
someone else's.
do it as much where I write the notes. Normally, I talk to them on the phone about it or face to face. But it was one time. It was like it's a while ago. I was back in school, and it was like my friend. He like my other friends, my best friend at the time. They don't know her because they ain't never met her before. But it was like he liked her, but I ain't gonna say he ugly, but he ain't good looking.
Hey, look, he not in the league right
You just
now.
didn't
He
see
just
that
had-
meshing
yeah,
well. You
yeah.
just didn't see that
Yeah,
meshing
you
well.
guys said
It was
it.
like-
I feel you.
He was.
I've had to
you
come
know
to
what I'm
terms
saying, up to her
like,
standards of looks and everything. And I told him I was like, I got you.
I'm sorry, man.
And
You
so
just
then
not her type, man.
I wrote her a note, but pretending like it was him. And so I wrote it and everything. I mean, I wrote all this nice stuff in it for her and everything. And I was like, oh, here, he said he wanted to get this to you. I was like, I ain't never read it yet, but I want you to read it and then see what her reaction was. And she was like, oh my God,
No,
really?
wait,
Wait,
hold
wait,
up.
wait, wait,
Hold up.
wait, wait,
I'm hearing two.
wait,
She said that's
listen to the
terrible.
story.
She's saying I love it.
Listen to the story.
And she like after she get done reading, she said, "Oh my God, really? This is how he feels, yada yada yada." Because the note was so nice, so he was all like, she was all excited about it and everything. So I go back and tell him, I'm just like, "Hey, bro," she was feeling the note. He's like, "For real, really?" So then they get to talking. At the end of the day, after that, they start dating. But now she don't want to claim it, own up to it, just because she found out it was me that wrote the note.
I would feel so.
I was about to say that's.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
Find out
I agree with
somebody
that.
else.
Yeah, like.
Yeah, no,
that's-
I would, yeah.
I see what you was doing, but I'm
Yeah.
like I don't think I could.
Yeah.
Like you think that's the person, and that's how they genuinely feel. Like you won't know how they genuinely feel until they tell you.
But no, it's like thing is that's how he genuinely felt. He just didn't know how to
But
write
did he
it.
write the letter?
No, he didn't write the letter, but I wrote the letter. I just put
Your
how he
words,
felt.
But they were your words.
You know what I'm
Were
saying?
they your feelings?
They weren't my feelings.
But then see
They were
that.
your
But then that's
They
phony.
weren't
But
my
then that's
feelings.
phony. Then that's phony.
It's my okay. It was like I picked.
Sorry, I
picked
gotta
up what
stay.
he
I
was
gotta stay
feeling.
with next week
And
Wednesday.
then, like,
right
you know
here.
what I'm saying?
I
Like, I wrote what he was feeling onto the sheet of paper, just made it sound nice.
No,
Did-
thank you.
So,
Wait, did
I'm
y'all
only,
read
I'm
the
only,
note
I'm only
first?
saying that. I'm only saying
Oh
that
yeah, he read it
because
first.
from a person who is a poet, like I've had people come up to me like, "Hey man, can you write this for?" Nah, bro, because I know me and my words.
Yeah.
My words get me in trouble. So what comes out plain to me may seem very, very intricate to someone else.
Right.
And if I do that, and I'm putting the scope like, "Hey, this is this
Like, you're
person
the one
saying it,"
writing
you
it,
know.
yeah.
Whether he's feeling it or not, like, yeah, that's exactly how I feel. Don't matter. I'm the one that wrote it.
'Cause then
It's
you're
my
liking-
mind. It's my mind put
So
to
write
pen
what
to
you're
paper.
feeling,
You know
don't
what I'm
have
saying?
somebody
Because
else
then
do
you're
it for
liking
you.
the other person, the person who wrote it. That's who.
Yep.
That's who
It's-
you like.
You're doing something unintentional, in a sense. You know what I'm
You may
saying?
have
Like
good
yeah.
intentions,
you
but-
don't have feelings for that person, but unintentionally you just, hey, yeah, this is for you. There you go.
Back to the
what I'm saying?
confession that she did. Did she tell you how she got over her fear of not being accepted? Like if
The rejection,
Yeah,
yeah.
like,
we
was she
talked a little bit
scared?
about. Yeah, she's still scared until we hear what the next thing is.
Wait,
The next chapter.
Wait,
What the next
when
chapter
did
is.
she get the note? Like,
So today's Saturday, right? So
Yeah.
she did Friday night in the States.
okay.
Oh, this
So it's this weekend. So she was gonna give him the weekend to think about it and mull
And enjoy
mull
that
over
bottle
it.
of wine.
And
So
enjoy
next
that
Saturday.
bottle- And
Next
actually,
Saturday.
she said I want to say in the letter she said, we can talk about this over the bottle of wine. So it's like, it's chill, you know, like either way, whatever way it goes. Yeah, I was like, girl,
I was real
yes, go. But, you know,
Like, we
either
talking
way, it's
about
like
a
we're going to
little bottle.
30
celebrate.
years planning it out. Of course it's smooth.
Yes. Either way, you know, we celebrate friendship. We celebrate a next chapter in our life. It's still all good. And so I was like, damn, that is smooth, right? Yeah. But the fear of rejection is, you're right. There was or still is some of that, because I can tell in her letter that the feelings she has are very profound. So.
We see that a lot happen with
But
people.
what if you don't take the risk? Like, who cares about rejection at that point? Like, what?
Too many people care about rejection.
I don't.
That's
I
the
am
thing.
of the philosophy. I will tell you how I feel. I don't want to die with a word in my mouth. If I feel love for you in any moment, I will let you know. Hey, feeling love for you right now.
What about when it comes to confessing something that you know can hurt the relationship,
Like,
and you have that fear of rejection at that point? Like you're already in a relationship, and I'm not saying that's to be like cheating or anything like that, but whatever the confession is, you're already in a relationship, and you have the want to confess to the person that you're with about something.
like I
But
lost all my money in the bank.
it's detrimental. It's detrimental to the relationship, so you don't want to tell them for fear of that person rejecting you.
It's a testimony to loyalty.
And it's a testimony to love
True.
and commitment. It's a testimony to commitment, right?
That's like, so throwing that example, like, say you are in a relationship and like
The relationship with the person
No,
or the relationship to the
hey,
relationship.
Hey, so you're in a relationship and
I'm
and
single
like
with the person.
So I'm gonna leave it. So from the girl, so the female wants to have kids, but the guy in the back of his head knows. He just knows he's not able to produce. Like,
Or doesn't want kids.
no, it's not. Well, yeah,
His soldiers ain't marching.
yeah, his soldier's not
That's
marching.
what he meant to say.
Yeah.
Sterile.
Yeah.
He's
So how do you go about that? Because if you know, like, your wife, your girlfriend wants kids, and like that's one thing.
Keyword is exploring what the other options are. And it goes back to what she says, knowing the loyalty. Because if your wife wants kids and you can't provide kids, that doesn't necessarily mean that that's the end of the relationship.
Yeah.
If your wife is willing, or whoever you're with is willing to compromise, then there are other alternatives to
But
having
I think
kids.
you're saying like that risk of telling the truth for fear of rejecting and losing your partner, right? Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
like how do you get over that fear of rejection, or not rejection, but just that
Or
fear?
That's
that
that
affects-
trust in you have to have that trust in your partner.
And not to mention, like, when you actually do confess, you should be smart with your confession. Like, have all your options laid out, you know, so that, like, when you do tell her, you can follow up with, well, there's adoption, well, there's clinics, well, there's, you know, and it's not just a straight, oh, like, I can't have kids, I'm
Right.
sorry. It's like, I'm giving you options, and if you really want to work through this with me, you know,
I
we
think
can go
if
next
you
step.
bring up the options, you put that, hey, look, I'm still very well invested in this relationship, and I want this shit to work.
This
You want
reminds me of a
kids.
story.
You want kids, and I want to help that make that happen. So here's what we can do if you want to do this. If not, then honestly, at that point, with today and how it is, it's like that's a show and testament to whether or not that person is actually fit for you. Because if they can't accept that about you,
They're not going to accept a lot of whole other
Exactly.
things that
Who
a
wanted to hear a
relationship.
story?
Yeah.
All right, let's bring it.
more confessions
All right, so
on the heat.
let me tell you,
Are you
Let-
like reading his mind now?
Now
What's
call
going
back
on?
up.
he knows.
Yeah.
Let me tell y'all a story of why I'm not married anymore. All right, and it literally goes into what we were just talking about. All right, so my wife at the time, we had been trying to have kids since we got married for 3 years, you know. And even before then, stupid teenagers, you know, well, weren't really teenagers, but we were stupid. Still stupid. But we were trying to have children, or I was anyway. And the reason I say I was she was on birth control and hid it from me for the whole duration of the time, and she just didn't have the courage, or didn't want to hurt me by telling me that she didn't want to have children. And it actually ended up
After you got married?
yes. Well, and then she kept it going throughout our whole marriage, like, and it ended up hurting me a lot more, just because she would sit in the waiting room as we both went and got tests done, and we spent thousands of dollars on getting
Why
tested.
you weren't having a baby?
Yeah,
why you weren't getting pregnant?
Why we weren't getting
So
pregnant.
she held on to that lie so deeply that it spilled into this fake reality
Exactly.
for the fear of you think hurting you.
At
but
the end of the day, I don't really know the fear, or if there even was one, or she just blatantly didn't want to have children with me. Maybe she does with somebody else, you know. But it just, yeah. It's
you know,
funny.
and that's what you bring up a really good point, Castle.
It's a very good point that you bring up, because like what's very, very astounding to see is that, you know, that's just a show in faith, and like, hey, look, like that person was not meant for you. Can you? I mean, it's going deeper into it and being like, hey, look, had a kid been produced,
it would have.
You know, imagine what may have came from that, what the results may have been. Maybe she had freaking done something else after the fact, or whatever the case may be. Like there are things that happen in people's relationship. Like there's a situation I know about with a friend of mine back in Texas, and it was similar to what happened to me, but probably a little bit more dramatic. They were in a relationship, and you know, the female in the relationship, she had gotten pregnant, and what ended up happening is she did everything she could to make sure that there was a miscarriage. She didn't want to be with him anymore. She was already in another relationship with another individual. He didn't know about this until, I think, 3 weeks after they went to the clinic and found out that she had a miscarriage. And when I mean it broke him, he had never had a big father figure in his life. So for him, having a baby would have been like, hey, look, I get to prove to be, you know, a better man than what my dad or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So when you look at it, you know, me and him talked about it for, man, we were on the phone for about like 7 or 8 hours straight, and like talking to him, and coming down off of it. And he's like, dude, you know what, like talking to you is awesome, and it feels good to talk to you, but it's still that inkling of knowing like what this person did to me, that scar for life, you know. And it's like, I understand, man, but at the same time you have to look at it as, yeah, this is a time for grief, of course, but at the same time, you know, it goes back to what we've been talking about all night. That's your time for growth. Mm-hmm. To come out of it at that point and be like, you know what? Against all odds, I'm still fucking here. I'm still fucking healthy. I know it's not me. Mm-hmm. It's my time to grow from the situation. Because I mean, I've had a situation where a young lady I was involved with while I was in college, and she didn't tell me she was even pregnant. So for me, it was like I would help her pay bills, whatever, because I would stay at the place every now and then, and gave her $200. Hey, no problem. Here's whatever, phone bill, light bill, whatever, blah, blah, blah. She talked to me. Granted, she had the decency to tell me like 2 weeks later, like, hey, look, I can't hide this from you. This and this happened. And when she broke it, like, for me, I was glad that I considered her feelings enough to know that I didn't need to blast off on her and be like, what the fuck, fucking crazy ass bitch, blah, 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 blah. It was more or less like she didn't know if we were going to be right for each other. She didn't know if her and her mom talked about it, and her mom was like, no, fuck that, you're not having babies right now. And her mom were like this. So, you know, it's like, all right, cool, understanding, whatever the case may be, blah, 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 blah. And even after that point of understanding it, you know, me and her we're still cordial to each other. There's nothing I have against her. I understand why she did what she did on her terms, and she understands, you know, my place on the whole idea of it, and we just move past it. You know, you grow from it, but it's a show and testament to what you can survive through, you know.
Well, that, and I see this in two facets, right? It's the lying piece, and then it's the reaction to the truth. So
Who's reaction to the truth?
The person who's receiving the truth, right? So I for me, one of the biggest things that I have a hard time with is being lied to. Like I have a really, really hard time, because I always say, you know, just be honest with me and let me make the choices I need to make based on that truth. Mm-hmm. Because if you're lying to me, I'm making choices based on a lie. Mm-hmm. And that cheats both of us. it cheats you and it cheats me, right? Because then I can't make any decisions.
Exactly.
And then I hear a lot, oh, I was afraid to hurt your feelings. I was afraid. For me, that's playing a small game. That means you're holding me.
making excuses.
You're holding me lower than you think of me so low that you think I can't handle a truth, right? So for me, that I lose respect for the person, right? So people think, oh, you can't handle a truth and blah blah blah. It's not that. It's not that I can't handle the truth. It's that I lose respect for the fact that you can't hold me at a higher bar.
Right.
And then the opposite of that is, if now I'm saying be honest with me, then I have to measure how I react to the honesty.
Exactly.
Right? Because that's where the bar is set. If you're honest with me about something that I don't want to hear and that I don't like and that I know is going to hurt my feelings, and I react and go all batshit crazy on you, what does that mean? Are you going to be honest with me the next time?
Hell no.
Hell no, right? Let's be for real. You're not. And so now I've set that bar, right? But if I still have an emotional reaction to a truth that may be hurtful to me, and I can come and ground myself and be like, all right, well, this is the truth. We're going to have to deal with it. Let's figure this out. I've set my bar high. So, for you, the game was played too small. She kept a truth from you. And you made your best decisions based on that truth that was actually her lie, right?
Yeah.
And out of that, thankfully, in a very, very painful,
it got
process.
Figured out.
Because here's the bottom line, and this is probably why I tell my kids, always be honest with me, because truth always comes to light. I tell that to my partners. Always be honest with me, because truth always comes to light. No matter what, 5 years, 10 years, down the road, always comes to light. And
I think
in your story, her truth.
The truth
up with
will
her.
set you free.
I think what definitely sucks
I don't know about
is
letting you,
that
setting
when
you
it
free, but at least yeah, exactly. It can certainly definitely mess you up in a good way, but in a good way, because it puts you, little caterpillar, right? It puts you in a place of now you have to grow from that. Now you have to learn from that.
I think what does suck though at a lot of times, specifically for guys, and I'm not saying not to take away anything from lying to a woman, but when it comes to stuff like that, when it comes to women, I believe, because y'all are so emotionally attached to a lot of things, so much can hit you guys, and y'all can either brush it off or you can keep it on, and y'all can work through it and you can work through it. But when you hit a man with certain things, it's not that it's hitting our skin, it's hitting deep down in heart. And when it hits your heart that hard, it's like shit, fuck everybody, fuck the world.
Yeah.
Why do, bouncing off of that, why do guys try and keep it in? Or at least from what I see, it's like
when
the
you
woman might tell them, but it's like
A guy goes into isolation.
when you tell a guy certain things and guys try and play it off again, it depends on what the news is. Like if you're for the most part, if you're telling another guy, hey, look, I cheated on you, it's gonna hit our skin, and that first day, 2, 3 maybe, it's just gonna be like, yeah, whatever, cool, fine, fuck you, bitch, cool.
It doesn't even have to be that
It's
big, right?
it's not that big, but once it is for guys that it hits the skin and it takes a minute to travel, and then once it sits and it festers in the heart, and it's like, damn, we feel it because it takes so long for us to feel. Once we actually do feel it, it's like,
I don't know that it takes long for you to feel, and I'm not a guy to speak, so I apologize, but I think it's that you guys are trained at a very, very, very young age that you're not allowed to express what you're feeling. And so it goes immediately into, holy crap, I feel this pain, this sadness, this fear, whatever, and then, but I can't react to it because you've been trained most of your life, so you put it somewhere else. And then it shows up in other ways, right?
Yeah. Work.
It shows up in
weight
anger
room,
and frustration, and it
drinking.
doesn't even have to be something as
the weed is good though.
It doesn't have to be
Weed is
something as
good.
profound as a breakup. It could be something simpler, like a
Turn into a hoe.
non-shared decision.
I don't understand that. How, because I've seen it happen to many, many people, even people that have graduated. I don't understand how, let's say, this happens to girls too. Let's say a woman cheats on you. how are you going to, like, how is it that your initial reaction is to go sleep around with other women when that's what happens to you?
Oh.
Just measure
So-
your response.
Well, let's go to
please.
Mr. Loyalty.
All right, so
Oy,
now
oy.
the thing is,
Sorry, did I hit?
No. That was a
No,
great
yeah.
question.
This
That's
is
a
an
great
uncensored
question.
circuit right here. That's
Well,
good
No.
stuff to bring
Send
up.
me.
but so
Send
all
me.
right, so for a guy,
PG-13.
Rated
so
R is okay.
when once a guy figure out that like he's been cheated on and like he's been told, like there's multiple things going on. So like the first thing is
Celebration.
Why?
Because you lost something in your life that you didn't
Oh.
have to hold on to.
Okay,
yeah.
got
So
It's I think what it is
Is
after
it- is it
determining
like- wait, but
it's
you
after
say
determining
celebration, and I
I'm saying
think-
celebration in a sense of after determining that you're no longer going to be with that person.
Okay, because that's
Internal.
Because
usually
if you're
not
in
the
the if
first
you're in the
reaction.
determination of, you know what, we can make this work, and I'm not saying that you're
Yeah, but that's not
more
the
or
first
I'm not-
reaction you have, is it?
it depends on it depends.
yeah, it depends.
on,
It depends.
like,
It depends.
if you're in love with that person and that
It
person
depends.
says to you, you know what, I
It depends. It depends because I think for a lot of guys, when it'll for me at least, for me personally, I'll think about being with that person if I'm the one that initiated the relationship at like from the front. If I initiated that relationship, like I went after you, I sought after you, I courted you, so on and so forth, and I find out you cheat on me. Yeah, I'm gonna take some downtime and just be like, let me think about this real quick. Don't call me, don't text me for a little bit, but let me sit and think for a little bit. But if it's one of those like, hey, like we met up and
Oh, that's
we
different.
got together on
It's not-
a
it's
mutual
not.
consensus, and I never really had a thought to be like, hey, maybe one day I'll marry you, and find out you cheat on me. Like, all right, cool. Well, have a good life. See you later. Bye. Like,
But
it sounds cold, but that's just me personally. I mean, that's how I've been with relationships in the past. Is if I didn't take time to think that this relationship was going to be something serious, and I mean, I've been in relationships to where they've lasted 2 days and 2 weeks and longer than that. Like, yeah, we're talking. Wait, nope. Second thought. Never mind. Sorry. Bye. That's a 2-day relationship.
I understand that, but like I'm gonna reword it. So let's say you're in love and you have a dedicated relationship, and
She's
the
throwing the
woman,
variables.
Yes, she
the
is.
woman
She learns
cheats
fast.
on you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as my mom said, you guys are taught, like keep everything in, don't cry, and I think that affects how they react and how then result comes out to be. But why would then after that they go out of their way to be into another relationship and do the same exact thing
That's
that
a good
happened
question.
to them? Because I see it all the time, and then they
Like
come
go
up
into
with
another
excuses.
relationship
Yeah,
to
so-
cheat
so
on that
they-
person.
them.
Yeah.
But then they use the excuse of
retribution.
Then they
Not
use the excuse
retribution,
of, oh, I didn't know we were
vengeance.
official, or oh,
Yes,
I
thank
didn't
you.
know,
Vengeance.
we were like really dating or whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, I don't know
It's
if it
it's
applies to
anger,
girls, but I'll give you my.
it's a reaction to rejection, right? It's a one form of reaction to rejection is seeking acceptance somewhere else.
Yep. So I'll give you a good one right after I got divorced, which oddly
Oh.
enough. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
I think you just finished the story, right? It was like,
No,
yeah.
so basically, well, obviously a lot of things. So the earlier story wasn't the only nail in the coffin. Obviously, there was a lot of things that went into a divorce, as usually there is. But essentially, the day I signed my divorce documents and everything was finalized and everything like that, I lashed out. Like I didn't lash out beforehand, even though we had talked about divorce and all that. Because I still held on to her in my head when I shouldn't have. But, as soon as I realized I was free, and I guess you could apply the situation to a relationship where you could be like, oh, they cheated on me. And I'm sorry for my choice of words, but that night I went and I was a hoe, for lack of better words.
Wait, was that night?
That was that night.
Would you say, since you're sharing your personal story, would you say, when you look back, would you say that it was because you needed a feeling of redemption, a feeling
Yes,
of
I
that
wanted to feel like
wanted to be wanted?
Exactly.
I think
is
that-
exact-
I think
There
there's
will
a
be
lot
no
of
shoving
truth to
people out
that.
of elevators tonight.
Oh yeah.
I think
Oh,
that. I think you.
That was
Wow,
that
you guys
night.
have lots of nights.
Oh, we do have lots
Yeah,
of
we really do.
Oh, no,
Hey,
no.
we
I
can't
don't
talk
know
about all
y'all.
those
Hey,
nights.
because
Can't-
I think
can't
we
talk
have
about
all
those.
of our nights because like that we're that family. Like we all always together. So that's why we have.
Does that validate the what I suspected? Right. It's really not so much about I'm gonna get back at you as much as it is about
even when we were dating in high school and she, you know, I guess she didn't really cheat on me, but we took a break and, you know, you either break up or as the kids say it, you take a break, you know?
Right.
You pause.
Like,
Does that break count though? Like if you were to go sleep with another woman or something, was that count as that cheating?
That's exactly what I'm saying. Is in my head it does, because if you want to break, that means.
How does it count as cheating?
Hold on, I got it. All right.
Don't pull a Chris. Do not pull a Chris.
This happened to me when I was engaged, and my fiance at the time wanted a break, and my response to him was, "You want a break from what? To go sow your wild oats and then figure out, oh, I'm the woman you want to be with, or because at that point that means that you're not ready to get married. If you still feel this need to go and take a break, we're not going to be able to take a break when we're married, so we might as well not get married." And
but if you're dating and you call a break and that person...
A dating and a relationship are two different stages.
Well,
Speaking of the devil. Oh, gosh.
Chris?
Yep.
Oh.
What's going on, King? So I'm going to go ahead and read what he said. Of course he said, I'm here. And then, yes, I don't remember what you said
Hi,
yes
King.
to. Because it's easier to get over female by sleeping with another female.
No, it is not. You wake up the next day.
Hold on. It's easier to forget about her that way. It's not cheating. It's royal oats. Damn it.
No.
It's oats.
No.
Not oats.
I can understand.
Sow your
that,
oats.
But I also think you have to take
Is that what I said? What did I say?
No, you said oats.
Sow your oats somewhere else.
You said sow your oats.
Okay.
Isn't that what that means?
Wait.
Yes.
So
Okay,
are you talking about?
But it's him talking.
Are you talking about like a guy getting out of a relationship and he becomes a hoe, or is it?
No, see, that was originally what I was saying, but then I changed it to he got out of a relationship, but then he went into another relationship and said, oh my gosh, like, and had the need to cheat, thinking, I don't want her to cheat on me, so I might as well just do it. Like,
that's a lot of like immature thinking.
So I think what's the craziest thing is that with anybody, with any one single individual, when someone has something done to them negatively, they're going to do something that's going to satisfy that void.
Exactly.
Period. Whether it is right or wrong, regardless. Because I mean, for me, I'll use my own personal experience. Disclaimer: before I was married. for me, when I cheated the first time, it wasn't because the person I was with cheated on me. My cheat was based upon the lack of the lack of communication that wasn't being talked about and discussed and so on and so forth. I didn't feel like me and her were communicating. We weren't vibing well. This and that and the other. One thing led to another. We got into an argument. Anger came out. I can't choke her to death. So, went out, raced.
It's a good thing.
Sad that those
I can't. There's when you really do know yourself, right? When you really do know yourself, I know me. When I get angry,
I know when
I yell, and the individual that comes out it's like 4 or 5 times the octave that you hear right now. They've heard it before. So
I've heard it.
It's a scary
much,
thing.
It doesn't scare me. It just pisses me off.
It's a scary
I don't even
thing.
want to see that part of you.
No one wants to see
But
that.
some
And the only reason why I do that with individuals is, one, I can't put my hands on you because I don't want to put my hands on you. That's it. It's just lights out. So when it comes to that, it's like, well, I can't put my hands on her. I don't want to yell at her because I know it's just gonna scare the whole situation away. All right, I'm gonna go fucking drive fast as shit and go race some cars tonight. Bet, cool. Met up with an old flame. Hey, I remember you. I remember that night. Hey, let's go make that shit repeat. And shit happens.
But we talk about men, filling this void with some other human contact. But some men fill the void with drinking. Some men fill the void with like
cheat on somebody or
you go
like how do you
it just depends on what their need is, fulfilling
It
that need.
kind of goes
Some
back to
go
the
to
love language.
gambling.
It goes
Some
back to the
go
love
yeah
language.
exactly. Some go spending.
Exactly.
This is where
it goes,
you see
it
the
goes to your
Maserati
love
being
language.
bought, and you're like,
When you're
what
that
the
person
hell?
and you need
I
touch.
just want a
If you
Maserati.
absolutely
I just
need
want
touch,
one
that's
of
going to be the
those.
person that probably goes out and they cheat. For someone that needs the words of affirmation, they're going to just They're gonna go sit and talk with someone or
they're
gossip
probably
or whatever the hell.
Nowadays, they're probably going to be the type of person that is invested emotionally via Facebook.
Exactly.
Yes, that
internet.
puts
And
all
I
their
mean,
business out on Facebook. That's
the
a
thing
good
is,
point.
the thing is like,
Puts
I
all
know
their business
these
out on
these
Facebook.
two know the story, but there was an individual that we all know, they had a situation while their significant other was gone, and that individual is a person that needs touch. And she's a person that needs touch, and she needs words of affirmation.
So that must be hard for
From me knowing her, like being big brother, beforehand, before she knew I was married, it was a lot of me and her would like to go dancing. I didn't know a lot about her, but she was a person that needed touch. After I knew that, I was like, oh shit, you're one of those. Let me let you know I'm married. So it was a borderline.
And touch
right
can
here.
be met simply
After-
by dancing, right?
After that, that, it was like, okay, words of affirmation. I was a person she could link up with. We can talk about literally anything. But still, there's a line that needs to be drawn. Like, hey, look, I understand
The
you're in a
boundary,
relationship, and you're telling me some shit that I know he ain't gonna be comfortable with me hearing. So yeah, you're gonna have to cut that shit off. And she went and found another person. So
And
when
it's
that
more,
when
and
that
at
shit
that
happens,
point, it's
it,
more than just the love language of touch, because you're seeking something more than just touch. Because in the love language of touch, being near somebody and even dancing or being near somebody is enough to satisfy that need. So there are other things that.
Yeah, sex is
That-
not the end all be all, or
No.
alcohol.
like for
Right.
me, I love touch. I'm a touchy
you
person.
mean dancing?
No, yeah, like say like you can't find it in your
Significant
partner,
other.
Significant other. Is it wrong to try and find that in
In a
somebody
healthy
else?
way?
In a healthy
Absolutely
way, no.
not.
Okay, so then
Absolutely
what's
not.
considered not a healthy way?
When you
So- I mean,
besides,
break
like-
So
the boundary
healthy-
within your relationship.
Healthy way, if you're a person that needs touch, a healthy way is going dancing and keeping it simply at that, dancing.
So that's okay.
Getting a
That's okay.
massage,
So then-
Go
going
get
out
a
and getting a
massage. Go to the spa.
massage can definitely first. So I speak from experience, being a person where my love language is touch and quality time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if I go get a massage, I just feel super re-energized and centered again, because I do need that, that human touch. Hugs. This is why when I walked in, I was like, what, no love? Because hugs are
I was
I drive you
embarrassed,
guys
my
crazy
bad.
about that, are really important to me. And there's nothing sexual about it. It's just, I like that kind of touch. This, leaning in and that sort. And it could be misunderstood
Got
sometimes.
it. You're like, bring your shoulder back. Come here.
But here, he wants some love too.
Oh.
And you can do that while still being in a relationship, because there's this boundary that I have to set. So knowing that is my love language, and that is what I give and what I like to receive, I have to set that boundary.
What also makes it extremely healthy is when the person that you're with understands to the exact T what your needs are, and like, hey, look, because like for me, my wife is a stewardess, so she's gone a lot, so I don't get to have that touch right then and there. So for me, when I go out and I go dancing, I'm good. A little bachata, a little salsa, I'm good. Get a margarita. Good day. No
Mojito.
worries. Get to see certain people that I know I get to interact with. I'm good. For her, it's a lot of words of affirmation. So because I lead a nightlife where I'm working at a club and I'm working at this place or doing whatever, when she comes home, we have a little
Whiteboard.
dry erase whiteboard, and we leave each other notes.
That is super.
Words of affirmation, like,
It is.
babe, look, I'm out. I'm probably getting lit, but I love you though. So holla back. Mwah. Easy day. And she loves that help. I don't get it, but okay, it works for you.
It works for her,
So
and
it's
it works for her.
it's healthy.
It
It's
really
healthy for both of
is.
us.
It really is. And finding
So
that balance is
what makes it
important.
unhealthy is when it gets to the point where you're doing things to fill that void and not keeping the person that you're with in line with what you're doing. Like if I'm out at the club bumping and grinding with whoever, and I'm not telling wifey about it. Like, I'm not saying I tell wifey about every single night I go out, but when she asks, like, hey, what'd you do? No, I said, wow, I was at Asia. I was lit. It's pure and simple. I danced with so-and-so, whatever. But if it's one of those, I'm specifically going to Bailando on a Friday night to dance with this one individual, and never telling my wife. That's when it starts
Yeah,
to. That's when you creeping it. That's when it's like.
That's when the boundary is
well,
starting to thin
bet,
out.
you know, I know she about to be at the club around 8, so I'm gonna show up. And, you know, I only get like 2 hours to dance with her. I'm gonna make those 2 hours count, and then going about. That's when it. That's when it gets sketchy.
Yeah.
You know, when you have to.
That's when people start to get in trouble.
When you have to lead a separate life outside of who you truly are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
For real.
So.
Wow.
Man, it's so much though.
Yeah.
This has been.
It's really.
Hey
been,
guys, you haven't been sending a lot of messages, so we got a couple messages. Hold on, let me just say.
No, Habichuela is not here.
Is that with King?
So we got a comment from Philly. Hey, Philly in the house.
Hey.
Go Eagles.
These deep talks are just what I needed. Nice to know some men can really express themselves. So that's a compliment to you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Get it.
Appreciate you.
Get it.
For being, and
So,
then Puerto Rico chimed in, Jersey chimed in.
Hey, shout out to all. We being worldwide out here, guys.
Super excited.
Chris is King is still out here. I'm not going to get platonic here. I'm not going to get a platonic friend. I'll go out and get another female with weed, not drinking.
Oh my lord.
Come on.
Gosh.
Chris, really, man?
Deep talk. Yes, man. It's deep talks in here.
Yes, that's right.
It is deep talks in here.
I think part of growing up is, going through that loud stage. So
Yes.
Yep, we
it
have a
is.
word for it at our age.
I can agree. I don't say it's
Just be
necessary,
safe
but it
and-
is. It's a part. I think
It
it's.
is. There, I agree. There is a part. I don't know. As a woman, there is a part where
Finding yourself.
I think it's important, but it's not necessarily a need. It's not necessary.
It's up to the person, like how they want to react.
Yeah,
I honestly think it's good for people. I
Yeah,
really
for some
think
people it
it's
is.
good for people.
and just be safe while doing it. Right?
Yeah, and see, there's that, but there's also the point in which you need to learn, or not learn, because I guess it's not something you learn. You just need to know when it's
Too much.
when it's too much or when it needs to be over.
And if you
That's the crazy thing.
that-
A lot of
because
people that
But to
don't.
that, you need to learn to trust listening to certain people, right? So because I don't always know where my own boundaries are because I'm facing out, right? I'm looking out. But if TJ was to say to me, "Hey, Rosie, I've
What's
noticed
going on, Jerry?"
This. Then I need to hear that. So if I'm hearing like feedback from you and I'm hearing feedback from Castle and then Kid says to me, I'm worried about you, right? Then I have to hear that like, oh crap, I gotta reel it in. But otherwise, I'm all about have fun and go self-discover and
Go explore.
understand where your own boundaries are.
keyword
Just be
self-discover.
Yeah.
Not
I think
discover
what gets misinterpreted.
No,
A lot of
you
times,
know
what gets misinterpreted is people are like, let me just discover, period, and they're not taking time to look at the discovery that what they're doing is to
Self-discover.
better improve,
Yeah.
not necessarily self-deteriorate. Because a lot of people go out
Right,
here
that's the
and
key.
they just.
Wild out.
I'm gonna just wall out until there's nothing in my account every single time. And
feel
okay, what have you
personally
done to?
Yeah, you always have to have that self-reflection. Like, yo, what what get to the core of like.
King asking about her. Deep talk. Who is the other girl?
Stay over
Hey,
there.
hey, King, stop it.
Stay over there.
Stop it, King.
No.
Stay
Oh, I
over
thought you were
there.
about to-
Hey,
No.
Don't.
No means no. Definitely tonight.
But yeah, you have to have that
Always
self-reflection and that deep core. Like, yo, what makes me happy? Like, what makes me what gets me that fire, that spark by myself? Like, what if there's nobody else? Like, how can I make sure that I have a good time just by myself?
Monkey wrenches.
Yeah, and what? Let me tell you, people say that. Thank you, because having fun by yourself is a hell of a lot of fun.
It
And-
really is. Like,
Yeah.
if you don't
So
if you don't know how to make your own self laugh,
what have you done so far this year? Something by yourself.
yo,
What have you
Travel.
done this year?
I make myself laugh. Like, I don't care what anybody else do. Like, I will make myself laugh. Like, even on my worst days, I will make sure that I make myself laugh every single day. There has not been a day that I have not laughed.
Tickle yourself?
No, it's,
Oh my god! Oh, I got myself.
no, it's not even that.
No, I swear to God.
like in my head.
No,
But yeah, like I'm always.
What have you done this year so far, like by yourself? Self-discovery wise, what have you done by yourself?
I found my passion for music again after I lost it.
Nice.
I found my passion for the Japanese culture and Japanese language, and so the reason why I'm staying here.
And your art.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Outside of what I regularly have done, I definitely have gotten more in my prayer life. Like my relationship with God is bar none very important and self-sustaining for me, honestly. So it's like if I don't have that, and I go crazy on everybody, and since I don't have access to a lot of weed. And, you know.
One of the things that I discovered, yes.
Wait,
Why are you laughing?
wait.
We're gonna have a conversation.
No, she
after
Hey man,
this.
you can laugh, or it's okay to
Look,
laugh.
It was funny.
It made you laugh, so it's
Hey, look,
He got her as a best friend.
what's
He's
funny
done.
was he was laughing like I caught that laugh was, oh, you don't got access to? I got access. I know where to get it.
Yeah, no.
Our school is so bad. You could not be involved with anything, and yet you would know everything.
Yeah. No.
honey, no school is safe.
So
Not even
I-
definitely
No,
overseas. No school is safe.
Our school is like 10 times worse.
it's
What have I done to make myself laugh or like happy?
Oh no, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
What have you self-discovered this year? Or what have you
I never
done to
really
self-discover?
self-discovered anything this year. I just always know it myself is like something that made me happy or like made me smile or like laugh or whatever. It's like helping somebody else out. Like I don't know, for me it's just like helping somebody else like helps me a lot more. I get a lot from helping somebody else than I do like helping them. And I don't know, it makes me happy knowing I did something like good just because back then it wasn't like that. It was about me. It wasn't about everybody. It was about me. But
Where did I find them?
I'm saying, right? They mean, like, man, I was 15. I wasn't worried about nobody.
I was 15.
Hey.
I was trying to hustle the principal, man.
Well, I think a lot of our knowledge comes from living overseas. I mean, we see so many people.
I did. I was the same.
I
am a product. I am a product.
I think your environment shapes you
Yeah,
too.
it really does. Like Southeast DC, that's
Mexico.
hey, like you
The
really
world.
experience
The
you
world.
see, you
I
experience a
love
lot of
it.
different things, which really does shape like how you have a look on the life. So that also shapes how you find your own self happiness. So yeah, traveling like where you're from young, like will shape you.
You're
Well,
pointing
you-
at
did
me.
you
Oh,
say
me?
it, or- 'Cause
I
we only
discovered audibles. Like,
yes.
I discovered audibles, and it's like the girls and I listen to books on our way into school and work, and it's one of my favorite pastimes with them. And I discovered there was something else that I recently discovered that
Think you
I.
should be a famous author.
Oh.
maybe?
I think you should.
I agree.
You can write a book.
And I just, you know what? I travel
that's
for work
words of
sometimes, and I
affirmation.
love meeting people. Like I love
She totally
meeting
ignored the book.
random people, and I'm curious about like people. So that's one of the things that I really enjoy
That's one
doing
thing
this
I
year.
love about Japan, and I'll try and keep this short, but like one of the reasons I really like working the bar scene here or being a DJ or just going out with them, and we'll teach you.
She does. She
I was
makes juice
little,
for me.
Or as I was younger, I think mixed juice is so cool.
It's
I'm
awesome.
sorry.
Well,
We'll talk.
It's so much different here in Japan because when the Japanese go out to drink, what do? They go to socialize. They go to have a good
Yes.
time. Whereas, and this isn't speaking for all Americans, but a vast majority of Americans or other people from around the world, they go for with one thing on their mind.
Yeah.
To go home with
To
something
end up
like
on
that.
Okinawa rants.
Yeah. Facts.
Inventing.
Let me go to blackout.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
that's
unfortunately.
one reason I really love this country is for that.
So we're gonna get those last minute shout outs.
So I just, before you say goodbye, I just want to say thank you guys for letting
Anytime.
Lil Leon
so,
and Vez
So I'm gonna say
join us.
keep coming. Keep
They were
coming
amazing.
Until October.
You guys were awesome.
October.
Yes.
She understands
Yes,
exactly what I mean.
yeah.
October, you cannot come.
But you guys brought up some really amazing points, and that goes to show for anybody out there who has kids, please open up lines of communication. Your kids have a whole hell of a lot to teach
Seriously.
you, and I certainly learn every single day
Yeah.
from mine.
Because
You guys' presence is very refreshing
honestly,
and
I
awesome
think
to see.
like a bunch of
And-
parents don't understand. Like your kids do experience a lot of different things that you do want to understand and get to. My last words.
All right, so shout out to Wing King, to Thai Massage, so places to go eat and get a rub down for people that need a touch in their life. You know what I'm saying? Go holler at those places.
Amazing.
If you're not doing nothing tonight, stop by Club Diamond. Hit up our a whole bunch of spots tonight. Everybody's doing something for St. Patty's, so
Hi, Mama.
enjoy the nightlife, and if you're not about the nightlife, just enjoy some Netflix and chill on your own, or
Read an
some
Audible,
self-discovery.
or
Or
Do your thing.
Listen to an audiobook, yeah.
But good talks tonight, everybody.
Yes.
This is your boy TJ, aka Sly, signing out.
Wednesday Writer.
It's your boy Kid in the Hood, just in a hat though.
All right, y'all. It was this.
And DJ Cass.
Hey, and that is it. The Heat Okinawa. We are out.
We are out.